This is Laura Kimball, CEO of ClickMeasure Media, and I'm going to show you 10 things that will make or break your marketing. This is really my top 10 list of areas that have the most impact on your success. Number 1, understand your audience. This is the foundation for everything you do. Number 2, create a keyword strategy that includes both head and long-tail keywords. Number 3, use your keywords to lay out your content. Number 4, produce great content. Number 5, promote solutions, not features. Number 6, content is king, but design rules. Number 7, show a consistent brand message. Have some personality. Number 8, customer service never ends. Use inbound and outbound marketing as appropriate. And number 10, the internet is always evolving. Test, measure, and refine often. So let's get started. First, understand your audience. What happens when you don't know your audience? If you don't know who buys your product or service, you will never be able to craft a marketing message that is truly meaningful and resonates with your potential customer. You will not know where your audience goes for information about your type of product or service. You may waste countless dollars in advertising trying to send the wrong message in the wrong place to the wrong person. So how do you solve that? We define your target audience by creating buyer's personas. In this example, hi, I'm Bob. What's in a buyer's persona? A targeted buyer persona should include basic demographic information such as age and gender, but also personal preferences as they relate to their interests. You should answer the following questions. Who are they? What do they want? How did they find their information? And what is the key motivator? Once you've identified who your audience is, it is much easier to create a perfect message that buyer is going to want to hear. Create a keyword strategy. Once you know your audience, it's time to know your keywords. Create a nice mix of keywords that include generic terms as well as long-tail keywords that have a tendency for better conversion. Research your keywords looking for competition, number of searches, and average cost before you incorporate them into your content strategy. A great way to do that is by using keyword research tools. You should be able to find everything you need to know before you put in the effort of creating that content. And you must align your keywords with where your audience is in the buying cycle. Now that you know your keywords, it's time to lay out a content strategy. Step 1 in a content strategy is to take inventory of what you already have. Consider all your sales assets, such as articles, tips, and how-to guides that have already been produced that you can repurpose for promotional material. Odds are you have more to work with than you think. Step 2. Create a list of everything that you are missing. Step 3. Prioritize the list based upon the level of effort and return on investment. Step 4. Once you create a content strategy, establish a reasonable schedule that everyone can adhere to. It doesn't matter if your goal is to produce one new article a week or to crank out dozens of videos, blog posts, and webinars. Just make it reasonable and easy to follow. And don't forget, your schedule should also allow for what resources you have available to produce the content. Your content should always align with the audience needs. Make sure that you create a variety of pieces that match where your user is in the buying cycle. And produce great content, everything from industry reports, blog posts, press releases, news articles, how-to guides, webinars, white papers, success stories, videos, testimonials, guest blog posts, promotional offers, and don't forget about your actual website. Produce your content in a variety of formats, Not everyone likes to read text. Make sure that you have videos as well as downloadable PDFs. And make all of your content shareable. Don't forget about social. Promote solutions, not features. Features explain a product. Here's an example. Offering the greatest selection of bowling balls. They are round, come in a variety of colors, wide selection of weights, left or right-handed grips. This is great if you're describing your inventory, but solutions solve a problem. Is your bowling game slipping? The number one problem bowlers have is the wrong grip on their equipment. Let us create a custom bowling ball design just for you. Now you really have their attention. They're listening and they're ready to buy from you. Content is king, but design rules. Remember the old saying, don't judge a book by its cover? Forget that completely. The internet is all about the power of the cover. That unforgettable image that draws you in. You look and then you read. Colors, navigation, page length, clutter, device, visitor flow. These are all very important aspects when you're talking about design. Show a consistent brand message. We all want to be like Apple, but some of us are more realistic. No one is more excited about your brand than you are. You get it, you talk about it, and you live it every single day. The trick is creating that same enthusiasm in every piece of content and every message that you ever produce. Don't be afraid to have a brand attitude, a little swagger, so to speak. It is your brand personality that people will remember. Customer service never ends. Happy customers make for great marketing. There is nothing better than having great testimonials and reviews. Keep your customers happy and they will share their great experience. Turn your best success stories into case studies. Promote your customers' stories with quotes and videos. Get social with your customers and they will also share your content. Brand advocates are the best customers ever. Use inbound and outbound marketing as appropriate. Inbound gets a lot of attention these days, of course, with SEO, blogging, social media, video content, PR. Outbound marketing being more display ads, video ads, sponsored social, going on down the list of cold calls, direct mail. Use the right elements where it's appropriate. When you use these in combination, it can really be a powerful thing. And here's a great example. You create the fabulous blog post. You of course share it on social, but you also use a display ad to promote the post. And you wind up with a greater lift for all your pages when it's done appropriately. The internet is always evolving. Test, measure, and refine often. Do you remember life before Facebook or Twitter? Did anyone think Pinterest would be a hit or predict Instagram's success? Do you take smartphones or mobile into consideration? These are all things that have recently changed. You always need to be looking at what's happening in the environment today. Be ready to try new things and test to see where your audience is most receptive to your brand message. When it comes to social, timing is everything. The shelf life of a Facebook post is about 3 hours. If you schedule a post for 2 a.m., it's very likely no one will ever see it. The most influential times for Facebook are between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. to 5 p.m., with more activity happening during the weekdays. Of course, it depends on the audience. This is something you need to test to see what works for you. Even email distribution has a timing associated. You may be thinking the middle of the night is a great time to send out that email, but in fact, with so many mobile users, it is now common to check email first thing. The problem is that people are more likely to delete anything looking like spam at that time. If you wait until later in the morning, your odds increase greatly. I'm a prime example of this. I check my emails first thing, delete anything that remotely looks like it is spam. If you wait until I've had my coffee, I get to the office, I'm much more receptive to checking my inbox for anything that might be of interest. So that wraps up my top 10 list. Just to recap, number 1, understand your audience. Number 2, create a keyword strategy. Number 3, lay out a content strategy that includes your keywords. Number 4, produce great content. Number 5, promote solutions, not features. Number 6, content is king, but design rules. Number 7, show a consistent brand message. Number 8, customer service never ends. Number 9, use inbound and outbound marketing as appropriate. And number 10, test, measure, and refine to improve your chances of success. We are dedicated to helping you succeed. You can click here for more information or visit us at clickmeasure.com.